I do think there are a bunch of other conservatives who are waiting for the by-elections to be over, and they are then going to cross. I don't think it's going to be a 1 or 2 seat majority when the math is all said and done. This feels like a unity government. This feels like a wartime government that has that sort of level of cross-partisan national support. You know, when you're pulling people like Marilyn Pladue into your caucus, you know it is an unusual time. You're seeing a lot of conservatives now who feel like Mark Carney and his government are a better fit, better representation for their constituents and their interests than Pierre Poilievre. That's a problem for the conservatives, not a problem for the liberals. And I think there will be more people like that you don't expect to cross the floor. People who aren't red Tories, you know, right on the line, or critics of Poilievre. People who are just true blue conservatives may decide, I want to be part of this unity government. If you're Pierre Poilievre, I mean, all you can really do now is wait for Trump to disappear from the stage. In terms of federal politics in Canada, nobody has a bigger rooting interest in that, ironically, than Pierre Poilievre. This is a new world order that we are in the midst of building. It's not going to be easy, but it is better than the alternative, which is depending on a sort of decaying and radicalizing United States. That is also part of Poilievre's problem. He has landed on his way into that conversation being, well, we can't change our geography. We're so close to the Americans. We might as well make the best of the situation and do as much business with them as we can. Canadians are not interested in that. They do not want that argument. Poll after poll, Canadians are very clear that there has been a rupture. There will be a cost to pay. It will not be easy, and fuck the Americans. And he is just not there. That's why you are going to continue to see more defections to the Liberals. They own the argument right now, lock, stock, and barrel.
Who's gone to jail? Like, really, what are the repercussions? The longer that nothing gets done, this actually impacts not only the Epstein victims, it impacts women really everywhere. We live in almost a post-apology world, something that you equate with weakness. No one wants to take any responsibility for anything. That has long-term implications for women everywhere. With the Trump administration, I think it's bled into a lot of different parts of our lives that cruelty really is the purpose of everything. The most important thing for victims, I think, is for their harm to be recognized publicly and specifically. There was a time where people would actually take responsibility. They would get ahead of the story. They would say, this was my role in something. I am genuinely contrite. This is how I will do better. That doesn't happen anymore. The implications of that never happening. I mean, you have someone like Bill Gates. Bill Gates presumably runs a foundation that's supposed to help people. Has he taken personal responsibility for his role? He can deny whatever he wants to deny. His name helped bolster a ring of pedophiles. No one's really talking about financial compensation. I mean, doesn't Gates run a foundation? Isn't he a billionaire? Where is the compensation? Would it really be that hard for him to say, I'm going to put together a fund for the victims? Come on. I mean, that if I was counseling him for PR, like that would be one of my suggestions. Recognizing their names, recognizing people, recognizing the harm, and actually doing better. Where's the learning in all this?
People knew what they were going to do, and they endorsed Mark Carney, and they rejected Pierre Poilievre. This is very bad news for Pierre Poilievre.
When Trump is in the news every day, Carney gets a bump. I don't think it's too much more complicated than that.
Liberal support across the 3 ridings is up 4 percentage points. Conservative support across the 3 ridings is down 14 percentage points.
They didn't put their oar in the water at all in Tampon, and we saw a collapse in their support in Quebec. We did not see them put really all that respectable points on the board in either Scarborough Southwest or University Rosedale, which is an odd choice for a leader that is bleeding caucus members. They didn't really take the opportunity of by-elections to build on Poilievre's leadership review result. That was odd to me and says something strange about where his head is at.
Canadians are seeing mass defections. How long can Pierre Poilievre hold the confidence of his caucus?
A lot of these MPs ran on the full assumption that they would be on the government side of the benches. They're not, and they're not going to be for a long, long time. So I would love to say there's no more floor crossings coming, but that would be a rash prediction at this point.
There's been some criticism that Carney's tent is actually just a little bit too big.
Well, Mark Carney was a bigger difference from Justin Trudeau than Pierre Poilievre arguably was. He's a big change, gotten rid of the carbon tax, adopted a bunch of Poilievre policies, and so that's less of a surprise. I'm more surprised that there wasn't some grumbling and off-the-record comments from backbench Liberal MPs who spent the last number of years pulling the party so far to the left under Justin Trudeau, and now suddenly they're seeing a fellow caucus member coming from the far right.